Good evening, or whenever you're watching this wonderful video. I hope everybody is well. Like, subscribe, watch, share with your dogs and cats. Fish. No, somebody told me this. Fish like my videos too. How do you like that? Anyway, I wanted just to put out a quick video on finger motion because people were talking about, shareholders were talking about it. There was quite a bit of upset about it on Friday and has been in other days, even though the stock itself is doing well, but expectations are expectations. So, wanted to briefly talk about that. But of course, before that, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there's a new type of broom that is sweeping the nation. Anyway, hope that even made sense as a joke. It was pretty pathetic. It's my opinion. But that was the joke, supposedly. Um, so, anyway, last Friday, Finger Motion. So, Finger Motion's a stock. Yes, I'm a shareholder in Finger Motion. So, Finger Motion's a telecommunications company. I think it's based in Singapore, but it does business mostly in China. Just had its earnings out, which were positive. I think it moved towards profitability, and we'll have to see if revenue increases and profitability increases. That'll be the telling sign. But sounds like it has good prospects. Um, at least that's my opinion. By the way, not legal advice, not financial advice. So please do not follow or trust anything I'm saying. It's just my own opinion. Um, but that's what Finger Motion is. So I think it's a pretty solid company. So uh, kind of like other things I invested in, I thought the company was solid, but also I've heard about the nature of the shorts. I thought it could move and may move, and since I bought it, I'm in the green. So it's a positive investment at this point in time. But there have been times where people, for various reasons, have expectations that events are going to happen on a particular day. And number one, my experience is that most events don't happen on the day that we expect. As a matter of fact, it's less likely to happen on the day we expect. It seems like that way to me for various reasons. And in this particular marketplace, there are short positions that are, let's say, at odds with the long positions. So if you kind of let the short positions know when to prepare, they can. If something kind of happens without their ability to prepare, then that's kind of when uh, bigger moves happen. At least that's my opinion. But anyway, so people have expectations, high expectations. On Friday, the stock went up, I think, to 725, which is the highest mark in quite some time, and it was moving very well. Then at the end of the day, it seemed to drop down to about, I think it closed around 630, 632, somewhere in there. It was interesting to see the movement. It was like a 15% move, which I thought was pretty substantial. That would be the equivalent of, like, if Tesla was at $200 a share, that would be the equivalent of that. It went up to 215 and then closed at 185, something like that. That big a spread. But anyway, there was, although it didn't seem like and some of this is going to be discussed tomorrow night, but it didn't seem like the amount of trading on the downside equated to the amount of trading on the upside. In other words, it seemed to be a lot more shares traded up than down, which is interesting. I don't know how that works, why that should work that way, but it seemed that way. Maybe I'm inaccurate. Maybe it didn't happen that way, but that's the way it seemed. Um, but anyway, so most people had high expectations that on Friday it would climb, and I think a bunch of options would be covered. But that did not happen. And my experience, so I'm obviously a lawyer, but I've also had business experience. And I was thinking about this, and my personal experience in both capacities is, other than cars and maybe homes, no deal is easy and most don't happen. So, despite the best laid intentions of everybody when things start, in my experience, most deals don't happen. So the fact that you may have ups and downs in getting to the end is no surprise at all. And even though, like on Friday, it pissed me off a little bit because of the nature of the decline, it did not appear to be organic. It appeared that there were some forces that may have been altering the action. But I figure there's ups and downs, and at one of these times, that won't happen. And even though I would have liked it to have gone to 1 billion on Friday, I have enough experience seeing deals that go up and down because that seems to be how things move. Again, despite the best faith intentions of everybody, in this case, I don't think everybody has the best faith intentions. So, um, I had the feeling that again, some that things may not conclude in the same time frame or as we expect, and especially after MMTLP, that had to be, a lot of people had to think that way. So again, I feel solid about the company, and because it appears that it's headed to profitability, that will change the multiple on how the stock is valued. And we don't know if it will continue on to profitability. That's what the earnings report suggested, but we don't know how it's going to work out. But if revenue continues to increase like it did from last year, and again, that's not something we know at the current time, and if profitability, uh, if it becomes profitable as opposed to just break even, which it may in the next quarter or two, it'll be treated differently and the valuation will be different. So that means that and again, my opinion, that means notwithstanding, however, the the short position works out, and to the extent whatever that is, that the company will still be profitable, and my stock, as I view it, will still rise in price, and that will be a good investment. Um, so that's kind of how I look at it. Now, getting back to what I think how it's going to go. So this is just my feeling, and I don't know if it's going to go. If at some point in time there'll be a big buy-in and the price will surge, etc. But that's what I'm hoping for. And I noticed that up till Friday, and including Friday, other than I think one day when there was about 4 million traded with that BS capybara report, but other than that, the trading has not been extremely heavy. And a lot of times, like on Friday, the volume that brings the share price down is pretty small, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, but not big volume. So, in my belief, and this is what I've believed all about, is one day we will have a minimum of a $10 million share day, mostly buy and covering. And at that point in time, the stock will take off, and all these little BS attempts that the shorts make to buy 10,000 shares here or there are going to be overwhelmed. They won't be able to do it. They're going to be covering or bought in or just overwhelmed by the sheer volume. That's what I believe. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. That doesn't mean I have any particular expertise, but that's what I believe. I believe there will be one day and volume will be the tool that will cause the stock to run, because that will basically negate the shorts. And the shorts don't seem, apparently, again, I don't know this for a fact, the shorts don't seem to have the capital behind them to be able to respond to a a 10 million share buy. And again, I just use 10 million shares, might be less, might be more. I think it's going to be significantly more than what we've seen to this point in time. It'll be an overwhelming buy, but I have no information, firsthand evidence. That's pure speculation and just the way I'm seeing it. So I'm patient to wait. And again, I don't know if it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm stuck with a company that I think will be profitable. So I think that's positive. I know people's expectations are to hit it big and hit it big quickly. I know that exactly because yours truly would like that too. But I feel patient. I don't think anything has changed. I don't let the ups and downs try to impact me. and I'm actively involved in trying to counter it, which also helps me deal with whatever anxiety or angst that I might have. Anyway, so I just wanted to give you my 2 cents about finger motion. The fact that it's been up and down is nauseating, but doesn't change how I see it. And again, I expect everything takes time, and I also expect things to run when I don't expect it to run. That's kind of my view. And nothing has changed um, to alter my opinion. So doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean any of it's going to happen. But I just wanted to let you know that I heard a lot of angst and I appreciate it, but didn't feel the same way. And I still look forward to it. And that's outside of whatever anybody else is saying about it. That's just my observation of the company and of obviously based upon the interest rate charged by the hedge funds and market makers and broker dealers, to be precise, 230% or whatever, there's not a lot of people selling. That's what that shows like to me. Because if there were a lot of people selling, they wouldn't have to be paying 230% to get shares. The shorts wouldn't have to do that. So the fact that not a lot of people appear to be selling kind of suggests to me that a lot of people feel the same as I do. Anyway, so that's my feeling. Still remain optimistic. Nothing has changed. I look forward to next week. And again, I expect the day that I don't expect it's going to happen. So, but not financial, legal, and I'm just a guy. Anyway, have a great evening or morning or breakfast or afternoon or whatever this is. Be well. And I hope I have better jokes for you tomorrow night because that one was really a stinker, like a skunk, a stinker. Take care. Be well.